Welcome back. Thanks for taking the time to check out this video. It's been a few weeks in the making. Been trying to make a video, but boy, I tell you, I've just been having a heck of a time taking some footage along the way, but just haven't really had time to edit it. And when I did have time, just was too plumb tired. So this video is going to be sort of a mishmash of things that I've taken over the last couple of weeks, and a little bit from today as well. Give you a quick update about what's going on here in the garden. I think we can take a look at a couple things first before I do that. Some J-hook updates, some Blight, and some blossom end rot updates. These truss hooks are working pretty well. The one thing that I would say is I wish they were a little bit bigger on the hook end. They work for most of the plants, but for some, like this one, I would prefer just a little bit bigger so it's not pinching off the flow to the further tomatoes there. I haven't had any more split off the vine, so I think that's certainly a plus. Yeah, they seem to be doing a pretty good job. Another thing I've noticed is I wish they were a little bit longer. Maybe had 3 hooks instead of just the 2. So a little bit longer and a bigger hook end would be nice. I just noticed this one today, and ugh, nasty. You know, but even these ones that have been here for a while, you think, oh, they're not going to be affected, but sure enough, right there. And I've got a couple other. This is a Thessaloniki, and you know, it's got some blossom end rot here. I got to go through and pick all those off, but for the most part, the blossom end rot has stopped. The blight, I'm still getting a little bit. The bulk of that has stopped as well. I think the Serenade did a number, and the biggest thing there, I think, was I took my friend Judy's advice from Facebook, and I really went to town on the bottom of these plants. Some of them it's kind of hard to see as far as the trimming of the foliage down there, but I really cut a lot of stuff off. It's harder to tell because a lot of them are leaning. You can certainly see on the Italian heirloom you know, how much of the foliage at the bottom of the plant I cut off. And I really, you know, if you look at this, I really needed to come through here again and cut even more off. But I don't want to get too carried away. You know, we got a little bit of blight coming in on my black crims. So, you know, at least I need to keep up on the plants that have a little spot here and there, and get those cleaned off. So here's just some real quick things that are happening in the garden. The marmons, or I'm sorry, these are marglobes. Finally starting to get some fruit on these. Some nice big tomatoes there, and starting to ripen up real nice. These guys, the Matinas, I've been eating off of these for quite some time. Just come out and grab a couple for a salad or for putting on some chips and cheese. I love me the chips and cheese. Some of the other ones are doing pretty well. What do we got? The Valencia starting to ripen up real nice. Oops, this is a Valencia here. That's starting to get a couple of ripe ones in there. So kind of looking forward to that. These, this is the Moscovich, and these are looking real nice. I've been eating off of these a little bit too. Did some tomato sauce from those as well. It's pretty nice. I'm gonna swing around this way and check out this. These are the beefsteak. Check out that big line of beefsteak tomatoes there. Those are gonna be, when they ripen, if they ever ripen, those are gonna be pretty darn good. Kind of looking forward to that. And I've really been looking forward to these. The Thessalonikis are finally starting to ripen up, and I'm gonna pick some of those a little bit later today and get a taste of those, see how they taste. The Mountain Princess are looking pretty nice. They are ripening up a bit. Not all of them, but a couple here and there. And I've still just got a ton of these Paul Robesons ripening. Almost any day I can come out and grab a Paul Robeson or two. Still very good. But yeah, I just got a ton of those guys. And these plum lemon, there are a ton of them, that is for sure. On the 2 plants, and they're pretty good, ripening up pretty nice, and they taste really nice. I'm going to show you a little something on the plum lemons here once I'm done with this little tour that is interesting, but hang on just a moment. The Castelludos finally starting to ripen up without getting blossom end rot, which was very distressing, but I think that the blossom end rot is really, I'm done with that, but the Castelludo was really just devastated by blossom end rot, the worst of all the different varieties. But the new ones that are coming out and that are ripening up are not showing any signs of it, so that's a good thing. The Marmande, those are ripening slowly at a slow pace, but pretty consistently. I can get 1 or 2 a week. That's kind of nice. Here's one. Here's one that's a little bit more ripe. Doesn't look too shabby. And the Tomato Gypsy. Now this is I think this is the only one so far that has not had any fruit ripen yet. A lot of tomatoes there, but so far nothing ripened up, so I really don't know how those are tasting, how they're going to turn out. But a lot of tomatoes, just have to wait and see. And some really nice eggplant. This is the Prosperosa eggplant. They are really pretty. You gotta like the way these guys look. And we're getting quite a few of them too. So, pretty nice. Kind of tough to see down in there, but these are my cayenne peppers. And I got a whole bunch of them, and some of them are starting to turn red. And actually, some of them are just plain red. But I got a whole bunch. There's 4 different plants, and they are really producing pretty well. And boy, are they hot. And the line of pepper plants. Getting a whole ton of peppers off of those. Come out and grab those frequently just to throw on a pizza or even just to grill up. Really, really nice. So I think you can see up there the plants that are way above the top rail there, the bobbins. Those are the plum lemons and the Castelludos. And there's a couple over here, but they're not quite as tall as on the other side. Now, my initial idea was I was going to make these out of 2x12s, but it was way too much to try to hold up to get in the ground by myself. But next year, I think I need to find a way to raise the bobbins so there's more room for them to grow, because they are way above, anywhere between probably 1 foot, 18 inches, maybe one of them down there, maybe even 2 feet. I wanted to mention too that it's kind of tough to make a bounty sort of episode where I show you all the stuff that I've harvested, because all the different varieties are ripening at different times. You know, and that's, I guess, by design. You know, I bought some early varieties and some late varieties. So it's not really an impressive, holy cow, look at that huge amount of tomatoes that he just pulled off of those vines. It's more I get a couple of this kind one day, a couple of this kind another day. Sometimes I get maybe 10 or 12 altogether. So it's not like an impressive, massive amount of tomatoes. It's just a nice trickle every day. I get a little bit of this, a little bit of that, which is nice, you know, and sometimes they just, you know, I can come out and grab some tomatoes for a salad or for just to eat, you know, that sort of thing. I've been making a lot of sauce lately. I took I'm Still Working's advice and got a Victorio food mill, and boy, I tell you, so much easier than the crank sort of food mill that took me forever to do stuff, to get juice out of tomatoes. This thing is just fantastic. Bought a motor to put on it as well, so I don't have to crank the crank, and it just, what quick work. Cleanup takes a little bit of time, but I'd rather do that than crank that hand crank food mill deal. So I think that's probably going to do it. Hopefully, I know it's kind of a mishmash of some crazy stuff over the last few weeks that have just been laying around. Finally got into a video. Hopefully it made a little bit of sense, but who knows, I haven't edited it yet. So anyway, we will talk to you soon, and thanks for checking it out. See ya.